Hello, welcome to Listen and Learn. I am Pamela Jasmine. Today I am teaching the remaining part of natural vegetation. The third forest, tropical desert forest. These are also known as tropical thorn forest. Climatic conditions. Three factors to be discussed. First is annual rainfall. Annual rainfall is below 50 centimeter, very less. And temperature range. Temperature ranges between 25 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. And the humidity is below 47%. Then distribution. These forests are chiefly distributed in southwestern Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat, Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh. Many other places are also there. These are the important places. You have to study only 4 to 5 places. Now, characteristic features. These forests have xerophytic vegetation. That is, due to paucity. Paucity means scarcity. Due to paucity of rainfall, the trees are stunted with large patches of coarse grasses. Trees cannot grow tall and all because of the scarcity of rainfall. Now, these forests have trees which have adapted themselves to survive in drought-like conditions, and they are called xerophytes. For example, the acacia or bubble trees, they have developed long taproot system so as to reach the underground water resources, and therefore it can survive drought-like conditions. In these forests, plants remain leafless for most part of the year and look like scrub vegetation. Trees cannot bear leaves because it would result into water loss. There is very less water is available, so it cannot be lost through transpiration. The important trees found here include bubble or acacia, date palm, bur, kher, neem, cacti, etc. Now, economic value. What are the benefits? Bur fruit is eaten raw and made into pickle or beverages. Beverages means drinks. Then, bubble bark and gum have medicinal value. Date palm is eaten raw and also used as an astringent, as a decoction and syrup for sore throat and cold fever, etc. Then neem bark and roots have medicinal properties. Neem oil, leaves and neem extracts are used as health and beauty products. It is also used as an insecticide. These are the economic value. That's all about desert forest. Now, littoral or tidal forest. Climatic conditions. These forests are found in wet, marshy areas, in river deltas and in tidal or other swampy areas. Swampy means very wet areas and along the sea coast. Distribution. These forests are chiefly distributed in the deltas of large rivers on the east coast and the pockets on the western coast. So, it is there in the eastern coast as well as western coast. And in the saline swamps of Sundarbans in West Bengal and coastal areas of Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. And characteristic features. They have mainly evergreen species of varying density and height because usually associated with wetness. Water is available throughout the year. That is why it appears evergreen. The tree trunks are supported by a number of stilt-like roots which remain submerged underwater during high tide and can be seen during low tide. Now, they have profuse growth with tangle of climbers, which is an adaptation for survival in soft and shifting muds. That is another question. So, how the trees of the tidal forest are adapted to shifting muds, soft and shifting mud. So, they have profuse growth with tangle of climbers. That is an adaptation. Then, these forests have breathing roots called nematophores. Because of waterlogged conditions, the roots are deprived of oxygen and mostly roots are submerged in water. So these roots, nematophores, they are vertical roots. Vertical means like this. Vertical roots. These vertical roots have pores which enable the trees to breathe when other roots are roots are under water during high tides. The important trees include rhizophora, screw pines, canes and palms, and sundari trees. Sundari trees are very important because sundari trees, because of the widespread availability of sundari trees in West Bengal, that forest is called Sundarbans. So you should not you should include sundari trees in the collection of trees. Then these are found. These are then economic values. These forest of Sundarbans is in the Ganga Delta. Now, economic value. Mangrove trees are utilized for fuel, mainly as firewood. But these Sundari trees provide hard, durable timber. So that is useful. Now, mountain forest. In the mountain regions, temperature decreases when the altitude increases. We know that when the height increases, temperature decreases. So this has corresponding effects on the natural vegetation, climatic conditions. These forests are found in the region of with a temperature of 12 degrees Celsius to 13 degrees Celsius. And rainfall is between 100 and 300 centimeters. And annual humidity is between 56 and 65. I repeat, rainfall is between 100 to 300 centimeters. Very heavy rainfall because these mountains on the windward region receive very heavy rainfall. Then temperature is between 12 degrees Celsius to 13 degrees Celsius. Because when the altitude increases, temperature decreases. Then humidity is between 56 and 65%. Then these relief features, because it is the mountain forest. These forests occur at an altitude between 1000 meter to 4000 meter. Now, these distribution, these forests cover the entire Himalayan zone. We know Himalaya is a mountain, so these forests are there throughout Himalayas. In the peninsular region, they are found in the Vindhyas, Nilgiris and Western Ghats. Now, characteristic features. These forests contain mixed species of broad-leaved evergreen trees and conifers. They also contain scrubs, creepers and ferns. And at the foothills of Himalayas, deciduous forests are found. See, according to the height, different types of forests are found. At the foothills of the Himalayas, deciduous forests are found. And at an altitude of 1000 meter to 2000 meter, they are the moist temperate forests. Moist temperate forest in the altitude of 1000 meter to 2000 meter. And in the hilly areas of West Bengal and Uttarakhand, evergreen broadleaf trees like chestnut and oak are found. Now, between the altitude of 1500 and 1750 meters, coniferous trees like cherpine is an important tree. At an altitude of 2250 meter and 3000 meter, blue pine and spruce are found. And at the higher altitudes, alpine forests and alpine grass up to the snow line are found, followed by mosses and lichens. And in the highest altitude, which trees are found? Alpine forest and alpine grass, and up to the snow line, and mosses and lichens are also found. But beyond the snow line, no vegetation is found. That means plants cannot grow there beyond the snow line. In the peninsular region, the area is only about 1500 meter in height in the peninsular region. And vegetation varies from tropical to temperate forest. That is a give reason question. Why in the peninsular region the vegetation varies from tropical to temperate forest? Answer is, this is because of their closeness to the tropics. That is one reason. And height of only 1500 meter above sea level. These are the 2 points. Why in the peninsular region there are tropical to temperate forests. Then it is so the vegetations in temperate in the higher region and subtropical on the lower region of the Western Ghats, especially in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. These temperate forests are called sholas. In the Nilgiris, Annamalai and Palani hills. So it is called sholas in the Nilgiris, Annamalai and Palani. The important trees found in these forests include cinchona, jamun, plum and wattle. So you can easily remember these fruit trees, which are these: jamun, plum, cinchona and wattle. Now, correlation of forests with environment. How the forest and environment are correlated. Forests play a vital role. Forests play a vital role in protecting the environment. So, forests are the moderators of climate. They play an effective role in controlling humidity, temperature and precipitation. That is also another answer. How do forests play as the moderators of environment or climate? So they play an effective role in controlling humidity, temperature and precipitation. Then forests play an eminent role in carbon cycle. They absorb atmospheric carbon dioxide and help maintaining the purity of air. Air is purified if there are forests. Forests absorb carbon dioxide during photosynthesis and control atmospheric pollution. Then forests control soil erosion, soil degradation and floods. That is why they are very helpful in land reclamation and flood control. We know the tangled roots of that complex root system of the forest avoid soil erosion. So then forests help in water percolation. And what is water percolation? Seeping of water down to the soil slowly. And forests help in water percolation and thereby maintain underground water table. Decay of plant leaves provide humus to the soil and increases their fertility. Now forest conservation. So what led to the decline of forest cover? First of all, we have to discuss that. What is the cause of the decline of forest cover? First, due to rapid population growth and demand for more food, forests have been cleared to convert into agricultural land. When population increases, requirement for food is also increased. So the forest is cut down and it is transformed into agricultural land. That is one cause. Then forests have been converted into pasture land for expanding dairy farming and cattle ranching. So it is converted into pasture land. That means animals, that means cattle can go to that area and eat up. Then overgrazing in the forest by animals in the tropical and subtropical regions has resulted into large-scale degradation of natural vegetation. Overgrazing means these cattle like goats, cows, buffaloes and all would go and eat up the vegetation. So this led to large-scale degradation of natural vegetation. Now, ever increasing demand for timber for various purposes due to industrial expansion and urbanization has added to the problem of deforestation. Trees are cut down for industrial purpose and urbanization. Then construction of multi-purpose river valley projects has led to submergence of land and destruction of forested river sites. Now, then what are the results of decline of forest? What are the effects? Then consequences. Decline in the forests have led to the decline in forest productivity. We get so many products from forest. If forests are less, products are also less. So that is the decline of products. Then forests influence human environment by moderating climate, regulating water supply, maintaining fertility of the soil and purifying air. So absence of forest cover leads to soil erosion, which increases load on the rivers. So the increased surface load reduces water in the rivers. That means this mud, due to soil erosion, this mud is deposited in the river, and the capacity of the river to hold water will become less. So water will become less for human use. Then siltation. What is siltation? Rivers deposit mud in the So when the soil is getting eroded, this eroded soil is deposited in the river. So this siltation causes floods which destroy property, crops and living beings. Now, lack of forest cover reduces precipitation, thus causing droughts. If there is no forest, that transpiration is less and cloud is not formed, so there is no precipitation, no rain. So that would result into droughts. Now, forest acts as a sink for carbon dioxide that the trees use during photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, trees absorb carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and when there is absence of forest, this carbon dioxide level will increase, and that would result into greenhouse effect. That means heat is trapped. Carbon dioxide do not allow the heat to escape. So heat is trapped, and that causes greenhouse effect, and the temperature of the earth's surface will increase, and that would result into global warming. That is very dangerous and harmful consequences are there. Now, conservation measures. How can we conserve forest? First, increasing the area under forests. Loss of forest can be remedied or solved by a massive program of tree plantation. Planting trees on degraded lands and land that is unfit for agriculture. If that land cannot be used for agriculture, we can plant different types of trees, so that we can increase the area of forests, and then that can relieve harvesting pressure on these forests. Now, afforestation. What is afforestation? Afforestation means planting more and more trees. The level of pollution is much higher in the areas of industries located. For example, cities having iron and steel plants. Pollutants generated are more than other cities. This is because during the manufacture of steel, air emissions from the manufacturing plants emit particulate matter, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, hydrocarbons, etc. These are pollutants. So, then to prevent pollution, trees are planted around the cities having iron and steel plants. The trees act as a barrier for the dust and purify the air. Now, stopping indiscriminate felling of trees. There should be strict ban on felling trees. If a tree has to be cut, necessary permission has to be obtained, and proper replacement of trees by planting sapling at least in the ratio of 1:10. That is, if one tree is cut, 10 saplings should be planted. Now, establishing corridors between different reserved forests. Corridors means passages. So, wide corridors should be established in different reserved forests to allow the migration of wild animals. This will also help numerous species of animals to use these corridors for their dispersal and migration. They can go from one forest to another through these corridors, through this gap. Using alternative sources of energy. See, most parts of the world and including India use wood as a fuel. That means trees are felled for providing firewoods. In order to conserve forests, we must use non-conventional or renewable sources of energy like solar energy, hydel energy and tidal energy. Now, proper legislation and its implementation. What is legislation? That means strict law. Strict laws should be made to check afforestation. Proper care should be taken to see that these laws are strictly enforced, strictly implemented. Now, people's participation, that is very important. Participation of the local community is of utmost significance if any plan has to be enforced, since the local inhabitants are the ultimate users. The locals are the users of the products of the forest. Now, most programs now involve local communities in planning, decision making and implementation. Now, Draft National Forest Policy 2018. Draft National Policy 2018 aims at sustainable forest management. That is the one sentence answer. What is Draft National Forest Policy 2018? Draft National Policy 2018 aims at sustainable forest management by incorporating elements of ecosystem security, climate change, forest hydrology, robust framework to monitor and to develop forest cover and strengthening the overall environmental balance. Its aim is to strengthen the overall environmental balance. Now, social forestry. What is social forestry? It refers to the management and protection of forests and afforestation on barren lands with the purpose of helping in the environment, social and rural development. So that's why it is called social forestry. The main aim is to help in the environmental, social and rural development. Now, social forestry is people oriented. Involvement of people is there. Value based joint management of forests with the major objective of satisfying the needs, wants and aspirations of both the people and the government. It is a mutual understanding. So, the needs of the public, needs of the people should be granted and the government can implement laws or methods. And it embraces almost a limitless range of activities on uncultivated land and thus reduces the pressure on the nation's forest resources. Social forestry is also known as extension forestry, mind forestry, urban forestry, tree farming, then Vanamaholsava, etc. Then most of these names indicate utility of the forest features of social forestry. Social forestry is forestry for community development. It is mainly for the development of the community. So, restoration, reallocation, reorganization of existing forest and for existing forest lands for the total development of the land and the people living on it. So, it is for the development of the forest and the people living on it. Joint management of the forest and its production process. So, joint management of the government as well as the people of the forest and its production process. Then, developing the socio-economic structure that makes the above two possible. If we develop socio-economic structure, that only make the two above mentioned point possible. Now, objectives of social forestry. Providing fuel, wood, fodder for cattle, timber and minor forest products to rural people. Rural people should be provided with their needs. That is wood, fuel wood, fodder for cattle, timber and minor forest products for rural people. Then utilizing the available land according to its productivity capacity. So we have to check the soil and value the productivity, and we should cultivate crops according to the productivity. Then developing local cottage industries by providing raw materials. Government should provide raw materials and encourage the local community to have cottage industries. Then providing efficient conservation of soil and water. Providing employment opportunities to the rural people. If they are employed, they won't grab the forest products. Now, increase agricultural production by using cow dung as manure. And now, agroforestry. Agroforestry is a part of social forestry and represents the intermediate stage between forestry and agriculture. It is in between forestry and agriculture. Everything is combined. Agroforestry refers to the sustainable system of managing a piece of land through combined production of agricultural crops and forest crops and animal rearing. Three things are done on a piece of land. The most efficient land use under a management system in accordance with socio-cultural practices of the local people. Local people should be involved. Agroforestry aims to provide conservation of the land and its improvement in order to achieve a combined produce of forest and agricultural crops, and even animals are grown. Now, objectives of agroforestry. To reduce pressure on natural forest or for obtaining timber as well as non-timber forest produce. So if there is agroforestry, people won't approach forest for their needs by cutting trees and all. Then to check soil erosion and to maintain the natural fertility of the soil. To maintain ecological balance along with proper utilization of farm resources. Now, to make the best use of all the available resources like land, manpower, livestock, ecological factors, etc. Manpower is used. How? Men should be working on the land. Then livestock, animals are also should be taken part. And then to obtain, these are the ecological livestock, ecological factors, etc. To obtain a variety of forest products such as food, fuel, fodder, livestock, recreation and variety of forest products sustainably from the same land through agroforestry. These are the benefits. Now, agroforestry, so that's all of this chapter. Thank you for watching. Study well and like, share and subscribe to this video. God bless. Thank you.